Yo, what's good? Prince Sports here. Drink the coffee and make you feel better. I know. I said don't hit that panic button because it's too early for the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo because the media is making a big deal out of this team imploding. But let's say 20 games goes in and they 5 and 15. I think you could start touching that panic button. You don't have to press it, but you can start touching it, okay? What do I mean by that? You got Doc Rivers who said, hey, it's on me until we get it right. Clearly, there's some internal issues going on with the Milwaukee Bucks, even though the season just started. Dame Dollar looks old overnight. The whole team looks old outside of Giannis, who's still in his prime, but only got a couple years left. Dame Dollar comes to this team. They're supposed to be one of the best duos in the NBA, and now they're looking like a failure. Now, you've seen his performance he did against Memphis and Dame. He's one of those players that probably wasted his best years in Portland. Now that he's on Milwaukee, he doesn't know his role too well. He don't have the ball in his hands to be ball dominant enough because he has to share it with Giannis. He don't know how to play with another superstar. He's not a superstar, but he don't know how to play with a superstar. He could play with an all-star that takes a couple maximum amount shots like CJ McCullough, but playing with Giannis, a top 5, a top 10 best player in the league, requires some form of patience and learning how to play with that type of player, right? And he don't know how to do that yet. It's just out of pocket for him. Then you got Giannis Antetokounmpo. What do you do if you Giannis? You stay on this Milwaukee Bucks team. They're going to grow old. You're not going to get any younger, and you may not win any more championships. Keep fucking around with this Milwaukee Bucks team. So, what do you do if you're Giannis? They're saying fire Doc Rivers. They're saying get rid of Dame because you don't pair up with him well. And let's say you do trade Dame. What are you getting in return to help Giannis over the top? A bunch of role players? You're not going to get nobody to fill that void of Drew Holiday. You're not going to get nobody to fill that void of what Dame was supposed to be. So therefore, you're still stuck between a rock and a hard place by being on the Milwaukee Bucks if you're Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Now, he has too much pride and too much ego to ask for a trade. Only he will get to that point if his contract is up or he sees the opportunity that he could probably take advantage of it. Because keep in mind, if you put on that contract, you take on Giannis's contract, you're going to have to get him to a team that could afford to lose assets. And Milwaukee's going to want some draft picks. They may want some in-now players that could at least perform right now. And a lot of teams don't have that to offer, especially with this new CBA. It's going to be real hard trying to get rid of Giannis Antetokounmpo because that's what the media is pushing towards it. But the question is Dame and Giannis Antetokounmpo a failure? After 1 year of getting together, that was a failure. The season just started. Is it too early to say they're a failure? No. I think, regardless of what happens to them, I don't think they're going to win the championship. So to me, that's a failure. Because you put a guy like Dame on that team with Giannis, they're supposed to be competing for a championship. Now let's just say they barely make the postseason. Let's just say they become a playing team. That alone is a failure for that roster and what it was supposed to be. But you got Chris Middleton, old overnight. Lopez, old overnight. Dame, old overnight. Wasted his best years in Portland. That happens to a lot of all-star players. They just disappear when they get the opportunity to compete for a title. Now, you're a little long in the tooth and you don't even know if you still got you in the tank anymore. Milwaukee Bucks is a hot mess, even this early in the season. You know what I mean? Can they turn it around? Yes, but even if they turn it around, they're still not going to win the championship. 9 out of 10. Sports out. Drink that coffee. It'll make you feel better. Is Dame and Giannis a failure to you? I say they're already a failure. So time to implode and blow it up. Sports out. Peace.